as well.
Perfect. And I thank you so much for inviting me. I have to say, it's a little bit strange to be talking to you from a room far away, but I guess such are times that we need to be used to these new strange settings. But I hope everybody in the conference is safe and well, and I'm very excited to be talking to you today. Just a quick introduction. I'm Senior Director for Oracle in European, Middle East, and Africa. I've got very much a focus which is away from products. Oracle is well known for its databases, potentially getting increasingly well known for our software as a service offering, covering, of course, the back office, ERP, HCM, but of course also a quite extensive offering in the front office. But my focus is not very much on the product side. It is on the industry side. So it's very much around focusing on our clients and sitting on their shoes and taking their perspective. And my focus is within the industries is on the telecommunications. So I'm waiting for sharing to be enabled so that I can start my presentation. But in any case, I can get going whilst they sort out the technical block. Today, what I'd like to talk to you is very much around two themes which increasingly are becoming interconnected, and one is very much at the service of the other. Data, perhaps much hyped subject of data, very much, increasingly the biggest and most valuable assets for companies. And then, of course, experiences, which are basically the value-adding factor of data. If you guys could please allow sharing, because I'm trying to start my presentation from Zoom, but it doesn't allow sharing on my side. Otherwise, the audience might have to listen to me talking on
Riccardo,
slides.
We are on it. We are on it. So please proceed, and you will have it in a couple of minutes.
All right, brilliant. Thank you so much. So as I was saying, increasingly, data is becoming the focus of a lot of company strategies, not just in telecommunications, pretty much across the board. And companies are trying to understand how they can harness the power and the value of data. And I'm sure during the conference there will be loads of speakers that will cover on that subject. But what I like to talk today to you is how data can be put at the service of experiences, and how data can inform experiences, and how can experiences, then positive experiences, customer experiences, deliver better data, therefore instituting a virtuous circle of better data leading to better experiences, and therefore much better value for organizations. And today it is undoubtedly a fact that companies that are best positioned to harness data and put that data at the service of delivering better experiences are those companies that deliver the highest value to themselves and, of course, to the markets that they serve. And people, you might be wondering, what's stopping other companies to do the same? And really, the trick is that it's not easy. It's not easy because you need to have a very structured, almost a religious approach to how you manage data and how you use it. You need to then have the organizational structure and philosophy and approach that enables you to apply that data in the right areas of the business, adding value. And then finally, I think you really need to be able to have the technology to support it. So I'm now fully live with the presentation. So thank you guys for enabling that. As I was saying, data is the new oil. We've heard that quite extensively, and it's becoming common sense. But what does it mean? Why is data the new oil, and what are the implications of it? Well, I did a little bit of thinking around that, and really, one of the best ways to define why data is important is to understand what impact data has on the value of organizations. And I took this chart, which reviews at a global level. It does a cross-section comparison of what is the value, so the price of an organization, of business, compared with their revenues. So it's a price to revenue index. So it's basically comparing one-to-one, on a one-to-one basis, for every dollar of revenue that a company makes in a certain industry, how much value do investors attribute to that revenue, dollar of revenue? And you can see there is quite a cross-functional overview of some key industries. And on the left, you've got those industries that score higher price to revenues, whereas on the right, you've got lower price to revenues. And you wouldn't be surprised to see that on the left, you've got quite a lot of companies that are driven by recent events. So biotech, healthcare, these have been very much appreciated thanks as well to the recent pandemic and recent demographic and social trends. And of course, you've got also green energy, renewable energies, which is basically the future of energy. But aside from that, everything else, you've got very data-intensive industries, internet, software, entertainment software. And these are the Googles, the Amazons, the Tencents of this world. And these are the companies that have mastered the art of harnessing the data. Now, their ability to manage data isn't the only reason why their valuations are so high compared to their revenues, but is undoubtedly quite a strong contributing factor. Everybody who sits on the left could be assumed to be an industry that traditionally hasn't managed to make the most out of their data. So that's in my view is quite a strong chart, because it's really proving what does data mean to a company. Why is data the new oil? Why is data driving so much value for organizations? The other important factor to consider today is that experiences are fundamental, and moving away from a product towards a service and beyond the service to an experience is very critical, not only in the B2C, in the consumer market, but increasingly across the board. And this is critical for brands to be able, for businesses, to really be able to deliver an experience built on their offering that is authentic, is contextual, is very much based on the realities of the customers that they serve. Nothing could be more striking than the recent events and the rapid shift that has been in businesses and personal lives through the pandemic, whereby our livelihoods, our ways of working have been dramatically changed from, in the arch of weeks, if not even days in some cases. And this has really put a big strain on companies to adapt to that change and adapt in a way that provides a proper response. And unfortunately, without proper data put at the service of delivering proper responses, companies were just lost. And we've seen the effects in dramatic devaluation compared with those companies that have managed to do it. So the key in delivering these key experiences and in harnessing this data is very much focusing on the micro moments. It's very much focused on real-time, actionable insights and actionable offerings that companies need to be able to deliver to their customers. Is around knowing your customers perhaps even better than your customers do know themselves, and anticipate as much as possible their needs, their wants, providing that sort of delightful experiences that are required, engaging them across the board and in meaningful ways, and very much breaking away from the typical domains of how a company is organized. That's really the oil in the expression data is the new oil, is having the ability for data to flow through the organization at the service of a very single-minded purpose, which is to deliver better experiences every time, every moment, at every micro moment. So how can companies do that, and why aren't they doing it really? What's the challenge? Well, there are many challenges. In many cases, it is difficult for companies to even start thinking about that and see through the journey. But a definitely stumble point is when companies realize that there is no value in data if the data is sitting in different silos and it isn't really helping different parts of the organization working with each other. This is quite a structured way of looking at different parts of the organizations that are normally not really working together as well. And whether it's marketing, sales, service, supply chain, HCM, or the traditional back office and finance. And really one key factor in trying to break away from this challenge is to have a unified platform where data can flow organically between the organization. So one example we have of a very successful client of ours that is able to do that is Motorola Solutions. Now, Motorola Solutions, not many of you might know, but they are effectively providing services and solutions to fast response emergency frontline services, whether it's the police, whether it's the fire brigades, or whether it's emergency services. You can really see how the concept of micro moments, really the moment, the right now, is critical. And they can provide the information across the board, information about biometrics for the agent that is responding, information about their actions, whether they're using certain tools or not, linked with the IoTs. And really this is the focus of their solution is connecting not just the front line, but also the back office, the tower control, all of those people that try to provide that emergency response, and where seconds matter. So if you imagine, in a traditional commercial or customer context, and you draw the parallel, you can really understand how the immediacy and the ability for data to flow from the back to the front office in a seamless way is so mission critical. And Motorola has been embracing a full suite of our solutions to really just enable them to do this. And it's very, very interesting interview with the Motorola executives online, where you can see how they explain how they managed to achieve that. And it's comforting to know that not only in a commercial environment, but also in a safety environment, these solutions are there to help deliver better experiences, in some cases deliver life-saving experiences. So we talked about data and how data is valuable, and we're effectively, all of us, sitting on a gold mine of data. So how do you extract value from it? How do you monetize it? There are two fundamental ways in which you can look at it. There is internal monetization, and it's probably the main area that we're discussing today, which is how companies can use data to deliver more meaningful products, services, experiences for themselves, for their employees, for their customers, which will then turn out to deliver more value for the business. And then, of course, there is external monetization, which is the direct selling of perhaps valuable, unique data to third parties. So, as we were discussing, it's not easy to understand how you can turn data into value. There is a little bit of a journey and a component that I'm going to try to break it down here today for you in a way that is as simple as possible. So imagine this almost as an equation, and you've got at the very starting, you need to make sure that data is securely kept and is compliant with any sort of privacy or any sort of legislation, really. And that in itself is already quite a headache for a lot of organizations. It's not immediately easy for organization to jump through all the legal hoops and ensure that the security boxes are all ticked. But that's really the starting point. Without proper security, without proper compliance, you can't even start using your data. Then you need to focus on the quantity of your data, how much data you have. Data is a very scale-focused asset, and technically the more the better. But it's not just about the quantity of data, it's also around the type of data points, the quantity of data points that you're holding, for example, for per customer or per transaction or per process. And then, of course, you need to start focusing on the quality, which isn't just the quality, the cleanliness of data, but it's also the value, the intrinsic value of data, the uniqueness of data. Most of you in the room will be working for businesses that are quite unique in what they do, and that's really the value. If you're able to understand what the uniqueness is and what's the data that supports that uniqueness, then you can use it to your advantage. Only then you can draw a conclusion around what's the cost of maintaining, acquiring, storing, even decommissioning these data. Once you have understood your data, you have a lot of data of good quality, securely saved, you will know what the cost of managing that data is. And then we start moving on the value side. So just holding data there, sitting there, even if it's of good quality, loads of it and kept securely, isn't going to help anybody. You need to be able to analyze it. And that means having the tools and the brains to look at it, dissect it, pull it out, put it back whenever is needed for whatever purpose. And then just analyzing data for data's sake is also not enough. You need to be able to do something with it. And that's the innovation bit, is using the data points to draw insights and then turning these insights into new products and services. And that's only then that you will be able to have a full return on data equation that you can then use to structure, inform, and drive your company strategy. Effectively measuring, having some sort of KPI around the return on data for your organization. That is probably the simplest but most comprehensive way of looking at data for an organization that is looking to deliver value from it. So how can you do that? Well, very much you need to start thinking differently. These are some of the lessons learned that we have from this data journey. Those companies that are looking to use data to do more of the same, they aren't going to go very far towards the left of our initial chart. you really need to start thinking about how you can use that data in a different way and not to just do more of the same. You really need to start gearing up because handling that data is not just an organizational and a commercial challenge, is also quite fundamentally a technical challenge. And without the right technology, you will struggle to make meaningful use of the data. You also need to start teaming up because it's not just a technological challenge. You also need to start bringing on board the right resources, the right capabilities, skills, effectively the brains to start looking at that data. And it's very much a surprise to me how frequently I interact with clients that still just don't have the data mindset that is required to compete in today's commercial environment. Then finally, I think a good strategy is very much about powering up and not just thinking that you've got to go through this journey on your own. There are plenty of partners out there that are looking to help you on that journey, that perhaps have done it before with other partners, or still thinking or willing to put some skin in the game to help you on that path. And I know that Oracle is very much on the front line in partnering up with our clients in trying to deliver more value from their data. And then finally, as I was mentioning about Oracle as a partner, I know we are very, very much known for our databases, but really we are a data company. And our mission is really to help people, you, the organizations, see and harness data in new ways so that they can deliver more insights and deliver endless possibilities. That's it from my side. I believe we've got some time for questions, and I'll be happy to answer them to the best of my abilities now.